Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Emma English Talks. Let's continue with story 2, exercise. Many people begin with big dreams, new shoes, a gym plan, and lots of energy, feeling ready to change their lives.
That sounds exactly like me, Emma. On the first day, I feel strong and excited, and I tell everyone that this time I will never quit.
Then, after a few days, your muscles hurt, the weather feels too hot or too cold, and suddenly staying in bed seems much more comfortable than exercising.
Yes, that is true. At first, I imagine becoming healthy and fit, but later I only think about how tired I feel after a long day at work.
The problem is not that you are lazy, Jack. The problem is that motivation changes every day, and feelings alone are not always reliable partners.
So when my motivation disappears, what should I do? Should I wait until I feel excited again? Or is there a better way to keep moving forward?
There is a better way. Successful people do not always feel motivated. They continue because they build habits that help them take action every day.
That is interesting. So, habits are like a backup plan that keeps working even when the fire inside us becomes smaller and weaker for a while.
Exactly. Think about brushing your teeth. You do not wake up feeling excited about it every morning, but you still do it because it is a habit.
I understand now. If I make English study or exercise part of my daily routine, I will not need to depend on motivation all the time.
That is right, Jack. Motivation starts the journey, but habits keep the journey going when life becomes busy, difficult, or a little boring. I like that idea, Emma. It makes success feel less like magic and more like something normal people can achieve with small daily actions. Now let's continue with story 2, the gym. Many people join with excitement and hope, imagining a healthier future, but keeping that energy alive is often the hard part.
That sounds very familiar, Emma. I go to the gym feeling like a champion for a few days, then somehow I disappear and nobody sees me again.
On the first day, you feel proud because you finally started. And even though your muscles ache, you smile because you know you are doing something good.
Exactly. I look in the mirror and think, this is it. My new life starts today. Then a few days later, I start walking like an old man.
By the end of the week, your legs hurt, your arms hurt, and every exercise feels harder, especially when a cold and rainy Monday arrives.
Then I tell myself that skipping one day is completely fine. And somehow that one day quietly becomes several days and then a few weeks.
That happens because people slowly forget the reason they started. The goal is still there, but they stop thinking about what truly mattered to them.
When I started, I wanted more energy, better sleep, and a stronger body. But after some time, I stopped remembering those important reasons.
Exactly, Jack. The fire usually does not disappear because the reason is gone. It disappears because we stop looking at that reason every day.
That makes sense. My reason was still waiting for me, but I became distracted by tired feelings, busy days, and comfortable excuses.
Now let's talk about story 3, learning to draw. Many people see beautiful artwork online and suddenly feel inspired to start creating. That was me. I bought pencils, special paper, and a drawing book. I felt excited and confident, ready to become an artist very quickly. At first, every small improvement feels wonderful. Even a simple drawing can make you happy because you know you are learning something new.
My first circle looked more like a potato than a circle, but I was proud because it was my potato, and it showed I was trying.
A few days later, Many people compare themselves to experienced artists online, and that comparison can quickly steal their confidence and joy.
Yes, I looked at my drawings, then I looked at professional artwork, and I thought, I will never be that good, so why continue?
That question is dangerous because it points your mind toward quitting instead of growing, learning, practicing, and enjoying the journey.
I see that now. I compared my fifth day to someone else's fifth year, and of course, that comparison made me feel discouraged.
Exactly. Every skilled artist started as a beginner, made mistakes, drew strange pictures, and improved slowly through patience and practice.
I love that idea, Emma. Every masterpiece began with simple steps, and maybe every great drawing really did start as a potato.
Now let's talk about our first secret for keeping motivation alive. Secret number one is simple but powerful. Always remember your why.
My why is the real reason behind my goal, right? It is deeper than the goal itself and gives me a stronger reason to continue.
Exactly. A goal tells you what you want to do, but your why reminds you why it matters, especially when motivation feels weak. For English, my why is meeting new people, traveling confidently, and understanding movies naturally without needing subtitles all the time. Those are wonderful reasons. When you feel tired or discouraged, picture those moments clearly and let them remind you why you started.
I like that. Instead of focusing on how far away the goal feels, I can focus on the life I want to create and enjoy.
That feeling you described, Jack, is exactly why your reason matters so much. Your why is not just an idea. It is the fire that keeps you moving.
So when I feel tired, discouraged, or ready to quit, I should stop for a moment and remember why I wanted to begin in the first place.
Exactly. When your motivation becomes weak, go back to your why. Picture it clearly, feel it deeply, and let it remind you what matters most.
I really like that idea. My goal may feel far away sometimes, but my reason feels personal, real, and close enough to touch every day.
Now, let's move to secret number two. This one is simple but powerful. Make the first step so easy that your brain cannot refuse it.
That sounds interesting because sometimes I avoid starting a task simply because it feels too big, too difficult, or too overwhelming.
Exactly. Do not tell yourself to study English for an hour. Instead, promise yourself just 5 minutes and make beginning feel effortless.
Only 5 minutes? That sounds almost too easy, but I guess that is why it works. It removes the fear and pressure from starting.
That is the secret. If going to the gym feels hard, just put on your shoes. If drawing feels difficult, simply draw one small line. I understand now. Once I begin, it becomes easier to continue, and often I end up doing much more than I planned. Exactly. The biggest obstacle is usually not the work itself. The hardest part is taking that very first small step toward the activity.
That is true for me. Many times I spend an hour thinking about a task, but once I start, I keep going without problems.
I use the same method with books. I tell myself to read only one page, and before I know it, I have read many more.
And when you repeat those small actions every day, they slowly become habits that feel natural and no longer require much effort.
Exactly. A habit is something you do automatically, just like brushing your teeth. You do not need motivation because it becomes part of life.
So instead of trying to create a huge fire immediately, I should simply light a tiny match and trust it to grow over time.
I love that image, Jack. A small match may seem weak at first, But with patience and consistency, it can become something much stronger.
Secret number 2 is clear now. Keep the first step small, easy, and simple, because starting is often more important than perfection.
Now let's talk about secret number 3. Sometimes the problem is not your goal. Sometimes the problem is only the path you are taking.
That sounds familiar. After doing the same thing again and again, I get bored and start thinking about quitting completely.
Exactly. Your goals may still be meaningful, but your brain wants something fresh, interesting, and different to keep your attention alive. So, instead of giving up on the goal, I should look for a new method that makes the journey feel exciting again. Yes. If textbooks feel boring, listen to podcasts if podcasts feel repetitive. Watch movies, enjoy songs, or try conversations with friends.
I like that because it means there are many ways to reach the same destination without feeling trapped by one routine.
Exactly. The destination stays the same, but the road can change whenever necessary. Flexibility helps you keep moving forward.
The same idea works with fitness too. If the gym feels dull, I can try swimming, cycling, dancing, or another activity.
That is right. Change the method when needed, but keep the dream alive. A fresh path often brings back energy and excitement.
I love this secret because it reminds me that changing direction is not failure. Sometimes it is simply a smarter way to continue.
And now I want to speak directly to everyone listening. If your motivation feels weak today, please know that you are not alone.
Everyone experiences difficult days. Even confident people lose energy sometimes, and even successful people occasionally feel like giving up.
Exactly. If your fire feels small today, do not worry. It has not disappeared. It is still there, waiting for your attention and care.
Just like a real fire needs air to grow brighter, our inner fire needs purpose, small actions, and new paths to stay alive.
Your fire can grow again, Jack. I truly believe that. The reason you started learning English is still meaningful today, and it still matters deeply. That is encouraging to hear, Emma. Sometimes I forget why I started, but when I remember it, I feel stronger and ready to continue again. Exactly. Your dream has not disappeared, and neither has your potential. Go back to your reason, connect with it, and keep moving forward.
I like that advice because it feels simple and realistic. I do not need giant steps, I just need one small step at a time.
That is the key. Small steps may seem slow, but they build confidence, create habits, and eventually take you much farther than expected.
And when I focus on those small steps, instead of worrying about perfection, everything feels easier and much less stressful.
Absolutely. You are stronger than you think, more capable than you realize, and your inner fire is often brighter than it appears.
Sometimes we only need a reminder that progress is still possible, even when motivation feels weak and the journey feels difficult.
That is why we are here with you on every episode of Emma English Talks, cheering for you and encouraging you to keep learning.
No matter where you are in your English journey, remember that every lesson, every sentence, and every practice session matters.
Before we finish, let's do a quick review and remind everyone about the important ideas we learned together today.
Great idea, Emma. A good review helps us remember the lesson and makes it easier to use these ideas in real life.
Today we talked about motivation and how to keep going when excitement becomes smaller and life starts feeling a little challenging. We learned that motivation means having the energy and desire to continue working towards something that is important to us. And we use the word fire to describe that inner energy, passion, and excitement that helps us move toward our goals.
We also shared 3 stories about losing motivation, including learning English, exercising regularly, and my famous potato drawings.
Those stories showed us that everyone struggles sometimes. But losing motivation does not mean losing the ability to succeed.
Then we learned 3 powerful secrets that can help us find our fire again whenever it becomes weak or difficult to see.
Secret number one was to remember your why. Your reason is powerful because it connects your goal to something meaningful and personal.
Secret number 2 was to make it easy. Start with a tiny action because a small beginning is often enough to create momentum.
And secret number three was to change the road, not the goal. Try a fresh method while continuing toward the same destination.
I really love that idea because it reminds me that adjusting my approach is smart and flexible, not a sign of failure.
We also reviewed some useful vocabulary words such as motivated, goal, reason, habit, and many other helpful expressions.
Those words are practical, easy to remember, and useful for everyday conversations about learning, growth, and personal success.
Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We truly appreciate every listener, and we hope this conversation gave you new ideas, confidence, and energy for your journey. If you enjoyed this episode of Emma English Talks, please subscribe, leave a like, and share it with someone who is learning English.
And before you go, we have one final question for you. We would love for you to think about it and share your answer.
What is your why? Why are you learning English? And what dream or goal inspires you to continue practicing every day?
Leave your answer in the comments below. Until next time, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and keep your fire burning bright.